Bob was 24 years old, fresh out of graduate school, and had just accepted his first professional job as a staff member at Southeast Missouri State University, SEMO for short, located in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. The words of his graduate advisor still rang in his ears. Whatever you do, don't fuck your students, figuratively or literally. I was 20 years old and had just started my senior year at SEMO. I met Bob when he was introduced as the staff advisor for Student Activities Council, which I was actively involved in. Sparks flew. Bob tried to resist, the words of his advisor still fresh in his mind. But when it became apparent that our feelings for each other were mutual, we had an intense affair. Now, staff-student relationships are not encouraged on a college campus, so we tried to be as discreet as possible. For example, staff and students enjoyed happy hour at Jeremiah's, an off-campus bar. Even though I was only 20, I had no problems getting into Jeremiah's. And exactly how I did that is a whole other story. But Bob and I had never been seen at Jeremiah's together until one Friday night, Bob came to my apartment and said, "I've been invited to happy hour at Jeremiah's by Rick Hall. You know Rick, right?" Yes, I knew Rick, another staff member. And well, do you know the movie Animal House? Rick would have been perfect in the fraternity there. He was a wild and crazy kind of guy. Bob continued, "I don't really want to go, but I want to be polite. I'm just going to have one drink, then I'll call you and we'll make plans to get together." And he left. Back in those days, we didn't have cell phones, so I couldn't call him or text him. Instead, I just sat in the house and waited on his call. Several hours later, well past the time for happy hour to be over, Bob finally called. "Julie, did you know that Jeremiah's has 3-for-1 drink specials at happy hour?" I knew that. I've had 3 of their 3-for-1s. Sounds like it. You know Jim Meehan, he's here. Jim was a friend of mine who had graduated the year before. And instead of returning to St. Louis, his hometown, he had taken a job on campus. "We've all run out of cash. Jim has a new credit card. It has an $800 limit. We figure that'll get us through the night." Dear Lord, I hope so. "Why don't you come on down? Rick knows the bouncer." Of course, Rick knew the bouncer. "He'll let you in." So I went down to meet them. I figured Bob would need a ride home. They were sitting in a corner right across from where there was a 3-piece band playing. Now, the band was doing what I call popular bar music. Rick knew the band members, of course, and so he knew that their repertoire included a lot more than the pop rock music they had been hired to play. And every once in a while, they would do a song that other people in the bar would sing along to. Most people had come in for happy hour, so then they were now as drunk as Bob and his friends, which meant that they sounded like a bunch of drunk people singing a song, off key, barely knew the words, etc. To my surprise, Bob, Rick, and Jim requested the song "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning" from the hit Broadway show Oklahoma. This is what I expected to hear. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful something. Oh, it'll be a beautiful feeling. Everything going my way. Instead, I was fooled, hoodwinked, if you will, in a completely delightful way. I knew that Bob had an undergraduate degree in vocal music performance, but did not know until that night what an incredible voice he had. I had forgotten that Jim had done theater in high school, and I later learned that Rick did theater in high school and college. As a result, even though they were drunk, the three of them were on key, knew all the words, and sounded absolutely amazing. It was magical, and an evening I will never forget. Thank you.